Hello, hello, cabin crew. Thank you for joining me for tonight's episode. Yes, this was a little bit of a spur of the moment thing. I just thought I should get on live and share a little bit of updates about my hauntings here at the cabin, the cave, all the good stuff, and of course maybe go over a little things about some things that I'm adding to the podcast, and also a little reminder about this coming Tuesday's live event as well. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, thank you all for joining me, and I want to thank all of you for listening, following me on the podcast, following me on Instagram and TikTok. I really appreciate everyone's support. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you've been enjoying all of my episodes. I think I'm doing pretty good, to be honest. I mean, there's always going to be a little bit of tweaking and everything, but I think for the most part, I'm loving what I'm doing. I think the stories, I'm going to get better writing them all out, but I think the different subjects that I've picked I've gotten great response on them. And sorry, my mic is like acting up. It's like going up and down by itself. I don't know why. Let me see if I can fix it. All right. Well, hopefully you can all hear me this way. But if anyone is in here and joining, I believe that you can chat with me as well. So say hi if you want whenever you click on the link. Yes, I believe you can chat with me. Next time we do a live one, just me, not the Paranormal Project thing that's coming up on Tuesday, but just in general, I'm going to do some call-ins too. So that's one thing I wanted to get started with, is as far as doing, I want to hear some people's stories. Now I know that a lot of people don't like to go on air and do it. So here's the thing. If you want to at least type up your scary experience, something, if you've gone somewhere haunted, if you've done an investigation, if you've seen a UFO, if you've encountered something strange, unexplained, I'd love it if you join me on the show. But if you don't want to, that's okay. So just type it out in an email, send it to me at theconversationcabin@gmail.com, and I'll read it on the show. And again, you can be anonymous that way too. I don't care. It's up to you, as I always say. But yes, so Instagram, I want to give a shout out to some of my newest followers. My God, everybody has just been so supportive. And in this big podcasting world, it's awesome to get this many supporters and coming back and saying, I'm going to take a listen. And of course, I'm returning the favor, and I'm listening to all of your podcasts as well. I'm reviewing them. I listen to an episode or two. I review them. I even send you the screenshot of what my 5-star review is, so you can see that all of us creators, we need to stick together in this big podcast world. It's hard to get out there. It's hard to get your name out there when there's a million podcasts out there. But yeah, let me pull up my Instagram real quick. And I want to give some shout outs. So someone that I met recently, let me pull up the information here. Okay. So first of all, Sunyur, Sunayyur, Sunyur. I hope I'm saying that right. I probably am not, but just started talking to him the other day. He does a podcast called R effin EFFIN Opinion Podcast. And let me tell you, I took a listen at his one episode about interracial dating, and it's so honest, and he does such a phenomenal job. He has a great voice for podcasting, but he talks about his own personal ventures as well as conspiracy theories, what's going on in this crazy world today. society and culture, of course, and his opinion on them all. And I just want to give a shout out. Such a wonderful gentleman you are. And thank you for supporting me in my podcast as well. And I'll be there every step of the way for you as well. Some other people here, military veterans, paranormal. And I wanted to point out to them because my husband, Jake, is a veteran himself. He's actually a wounded veteran. So we know all too much about veterans and active military not getting a simple thank you these days. So these military veterans here in the paranormal world, I think it's great what they're doing, that they are coming together to ghost hunt, investigate the paranormal. I think it's wonderful. So definitely go and find them on Instagram. Again, it's military veterans paranormal. And then let's see here. Let me get a couple more. Oh, someone that I met, her name is Anna. Let me get her full. So Anna Maria Manello. The last name is spelled Manalo. She's actually an author. She is an award-winning screenwriter, and she's coming out with a book soon, but she's come out with a few. So definitely look her up on Amazon. The great thing about Anna is that she is writing about her personal experiences. And what she had told me is that a family member of hers passed away, we'll just say unexpectedly, for the point of being on the podcast. Her family had an oppression by the Mothman, and it resulted in the death of a family member. And that really shocked me. And actually, what a crazy thing. I'm actually going to have Anna on my podcast in mid-April. And you guys all have to mark this on your calendar, because come on, a award-winning screenwriter turned author documenting all of her experiences about the paranormal, even the Warren Paranormal Society. I think that's what they're called, but they're actually helping her mother out. In her mother's case, they have an infestation that is not good. So don't know what I did to deserve a wonderful person like her to be on my podcast, as new as I am. But holy cow. I mean, well, holy shit. I did mark this as explicit, so I'm going to use swear words. Just, I have a sailor's mouth. You'll get to know that. But yeah, mid-April, we'll get secure on a date, but we're thinking April 15th, somewhere around there. So you guys have got to join in for this one. Okay, so going back to some more shout outs. Anna, by the way, it was wonderful to meet you, and I cannot wait. I'm working on your book, and I cannot wait to speak with you more. I'm so excited. Okay, so here's a couple other shout outs. All right, so let me get back in here. So, Bad Movie Cult. Okay, they are a podcast as well. It's a bi-weekly podcast and movie review site that covers the very worst of cinema. You could actually find them on Spotify. I listened to them, gave them 5-star reviews. Amazing podcast. I actually listened to their one. I believe it was the Fatal Attraction episode. And of course, that's one of my favorite, scary movies, Glenn Close and Michael Douglas. She goes batshit crazy, puts a rabbit in the pot boiling in water on a stove when they come in. Come on, that's like one of the greatest parts of that movie. But also the fact that Glenn Close was sitting there in a room on the floor by a light where she was switching the light on and off, and Madame Butterfly was playing in the background. And what a great scene that was. But anyway, go check them out. Bad Movie Cult. And another one I want to give a shout out to is Give Me Back My Horror Movies. So had a wonderful discussion with Give Me Back My Horror Movies. It's a podcast discussing the nostalgia of horror movies and the ones keeping the genre alive. You can find them on Instagram. So to get to their link, same with Bad, Movie Cult, you can go to their Instagram as well. But like I said, they're both on Spotify. So just go check them out as well. Um, and of course, my friends, Haunts Cats, Mrs. Spooky, Obsessed Podcast, and One Nothing Podcast. So let's dive into that real quick. So, this coming Tuesday, March 21st at 7 p.m. Central, is going to be our first as a collaborative group called the Paranormal Project. Now, what we're going to do, what we're aiming for, is we're going to be doing a 4-part live series. So, say for instance, we're going to have the first episode on this Tuesday, the 21st. The second episode will be like a month after that, a month after that. Maybe even we'll do it in like 2-3 weeks if we get a good response from it. Like people can't wait that long. But we're going to end up doing more 4-part series as a group. So, for instance, our first one is actually covering the mysteries of the Uinta Basin and the Skinwalker Ranch, Stardust Ranch, Blind Frog Ranch, Skinwalkers in general, and UFOs in general, and what the connection of all of those do they have in common. And I know everyone has heard of Skinwalker Ranch, but I don't know if everyone has heard of Stardust or Blind Frog. But please join us on the 21st at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. My girls that I am working with, let me tell you what, one of the best podcasters, I think, in this genre, the scary, the spooky, great voices, great attitude, great vibe. And yeah, please join because you're going to be hooked after the first episode. I can promise you that. So, let's go over some updates real quick. And I'd like to do this like kind of once a month just to, it's been about 3.5, 4 weeks since I started the Conversation Cabin podcast. I've had a great response to it. I think I'm up to like 40 some 5-star reviews, maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a few days, but I'm getting really good feedback. I'm getting some emails about some types of cryptids that people want me to cover, some haunted places that's not really that popular, that, they think that there should be some light shown on them more, just as much as the Sally House or, goodness, I mean, there's so many. The Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, just so many. The Winchester Mystery House. That's what my goal is on the Conversation Cabin is I want to get out there to get some of these places that aren't as popular. I want to do stories on them and bring them to light, get them some knowledge about, the secrets that are held there, the hauntings, some people that have lived through them. So that's what I'm kind of aiming for that. But okay, so some little additions to the podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up turning this that I'm doing currently into season 1. So that way, I can get a 2-week, 3-week break, make a season 2, season 3, so on and so forth. But being the fact that I bring you all stories twice a week, and, it's hard to research, write it up, edit it, add things to it, because I want it to be the best for you all. You deserve it. If you're going to give me the time of day to listen to my stories and my podcast, then I'm not going to try to cram all the time just to get something out. That's not me. It is going to be where I'm 100% happy with it. Sometimes there's just, I wish I could do something different once I heard it, but we all do that. We all want it to be better in some way. but stick with me because they're just going to get better. They're just going to get more in depth. That leads me to one of the additions. On Monday, I'm going to be releasing my email subscription service for weekly newsletters. So what I'm going to do is do a weekly newsletter where I will put out what the 2 episodes of the week will be about, hoping I'm going to do it like on oh goodness, I'd probably say Saturday or Sunday to get them out for like Tuesday and Saturday's episode of the following week. But I'm also going to do like a picture of something, maybe it be a haunted house or a ghost story, a cryptid story or something like that, where, I'll give a little tiny history of it, just like a little summary. And then I'm also going to be activating a Patreon subscription program here shortly, not soon, but probably within the next month, because I'll be able to do bonus content. I'm going to do some more live shows just for members, and giveaways, stuff like that. I'm actually in the process of making a merch store with t-shirts that will have the Conversation Cabin logo on the back, and then in the front I'm actually going to get it trademarked, because Explore Your Strange, I'm sorry, is a badass little tagline. So I don't want anyone taking that shit, because that's good. So but yeah, it's going to be Explore Your Strange on the front of the shirt with like a waveform underneath it to represent it's a podcast, of course. And then, like I said, on the back will be the Conversation Cabin logo. And let me see what else. Okay. Oh yeah. So I wanted to get to some of, some little updates here at the cabin and the cave. So, I don't know if everyone had listened to the Bigfoot howl that I had put on Instagram and TikTok. So, real quick, let me see if I can find that, because let me see if I can find that, because anyone that hasn't, I want you to hear it right now. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for it. Okay, here it is right here. Okay, so let me load this up real quick. All right, I got it. All right, guys, so let me first give you a little backstory if you didn't listen to my first episode where I told you a little bit about this story. So, long story short, we moved here from Florida to Tennessee in November. Mainly because the world is crazy right now with cream puffs that get their feelings hurt way too easily and chaos everywhere. So we wanted to move where there was no one around, woods, mountains, valleys. You got to get 45 minutes to the nearest small town, even. So we moved to this old cabin on 448 acres in Tennessee. Interestingly, when you literally open up my back door, you walk about I'd say 20, 30 steps. And right there is this huge cave that goes miles and miles and miles back deep within a mountain. And mind you, again, when you open up the back door, if you look up, there's a mountain right there. And I did post that on Instagram. We, of course, have cameras set up. Now, we did get some newer ones recently that are stationed everywhere, so we can see the back by the cave entrance. We can see by the shed out in the front yard, by the front door, the side, everything. Because when we first got here, we investigated not only the cave, but we investigated by leaving like an EVP recorder outside of the cave covered up in saran wrap so it didn't get any water or dirt or whatever on it. And then we also put it out in the front yard where I had captured a black shadow that went from one spot to 6 feet away in just a matter of like a blink. It's that fast. And if anyone knows about the paranormal, you know what I'm talking about. It's that unnatural movement of a black shadow that we can't do, an animal can't do, you know what I mean. But anyway, so we left the EVP recorder out for about an hour and 15 minutes. Um, First, something was messing around with it. Yes, could be an animal. Okay, I'm a skeptical person as well. So I think of every, what explanation could be. But we left it there, like I said, and all of a sudden we started hearing footprints, big footprints, like breaking twigs and branches and going through the leaves above in the mountain. And then within about an hour or so, this howl comes out of nowhere. And I'm talking, it was probably like a mile or two away, but we have a really good recorder. It's an Olympus. Let me grab it and I'll tell you what it is. I highly recommend the Olympus. Let me see what it says. Oh, here it is. WS. Let me see. What was that? 852. Or wait a minute. It's W5 or a WS. I'm half blind, people. So just, it's either an S or a 5. Anyway, so it's WS or 5 and then an 852 Olympus. Now, I will say, I won't mention the website name, but there's a website of a company that sells ghost hunting equipment. Yeah. I saw where they were selling it for like originally $99 down to $69 on sale. Guess what? I got it for $39 on Amazon with free shipping because I'm a Prime member. So, yeah. Anyway, get this recorder. It's very good. So yeah, the howl. First, there was some dogs barking, probably again, dogs maybe like a mile away. And then the dogs were kind of acting a little crazy, kind of simmering down a little bit. And then this howl came through. So I'm going to play this howl for you and I'll play it like 3 times in a row. Okay. It's short. It's like maybe a 5-second clip, but like I said, I'll play it 3-4 times just so you can hear it. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, hang on, that was the wrong one. That was the wrong one. That was like the full version. Hang on, Bigfoot howl. Let me go back in here. Bigfoot howl. Where's it at? Mm, let me see. Give me 1 second, guys, because I totally want to play this for you. Okay, Bigfoot howl. All right. Well, can't I just take this thing? All right. Okay. Let me see here. Maybe I can fast forward it. No, see, I have to. I'm learning how to do this live shit. So, give me a second. Give me a second, peeps. If I can't find it like ASAP, then I'll do it on Tuesday's episode. I promise. But I thought I had saved it. Here, let me see. Bigfoot howl. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Can I use this? Oh, I got it. Okay. So let me minimize this. Hopefully you can hear it. I don't know if you will, but let's try it. Hopefully you can hear that. I just played it. If not, let me see if I can load it up so it can play in here. Let me see. Upload. Okay. Audacity. Bigfoot howl. There we go. Oh, file not supported. It needs to be an MP3. Okay. Well, I'm going to try playing it again just in case anybody could hear it. Let me try it again so you can hear it. Okay. Hopefully you can hear it. If not, like I said, I will play it before we start our stuff on Tuesday. So I'll make it into an MP3, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so okay, but anyway, there was this Bigfoot howl. Now, about a week after the Bigfoot howl, what had happened? Me and my husband were sitting in bed, and we heard a huge, like, double pound on the front of our house. Now, mind you, you actually have to get on the front porch. That you either have to crawl up through the one side to get on it, or come up 3 steps on the other side to get on it. So yeah, you have to be on the front porch to touch our front side of the house. So it pounded like twice, and then it's about 5 minutes later, after we ran out, checked, there was nothing there. About 5 minutes later, it pounded again, and I'm telling you, it was a beastly pound. It was, I cannot tell you, it's not like a human could have done it. Like a human could done it, but it would have sounded so dull because it just couldn't be that strong to do as loud as it did. But yeah. So like I said, I'll play it on Tuesday's live episode since it kind of is in relevance to what we're doing. But I just thought about it last minute to play it for you all. So I should have transferred it to MP3, all that good stuff anyway. But so let me see what else. Oh, another thing, I've already started creating a YouTube channel where in time, probably again in the next month or two, I am actually going to be setting up a camera where I will also record my podcast visually. So then that way they can also be uploaded in YouTube, and it just won't be like a background that you see. It'll be actually me, telling the story, etc. So I'm definitely going to get out there. You can already start adding me if you want on YouTube. Just look up The Conversation Cabin. Pretty simple. And let's see. T-shirts. I already talked about the t-shirts that I'm going to do. Oh, and like I said, as the Patreon gets set up, the merchandise gets going, the email subscription service starts coming out. I want all of you to be I want this podcast to be bringing you all in with me. So on these lives, I'm going to start having call-ins because I actually have a call-in button right here. I'm looking at it to my right. We got chat available, and I want to bring you all in. So there'll be some themes. This was just, like I said, a spur of the moment live session. I thought it was best to give some updates on what's going on so you kind of knew moving forward what to expect from the podcast. It's just not going to be as simple as it's been. I'm not going to change the stories up that much. My writing will get better in time. As you see, I've been putting in more sound effects, things like that. But I'm talking about the podcast as a whole becoming more to where you, the listener, are going to be able to be more involved in the Conversation Cabin. The Patreon program is going to be for the cabin crew. If you love what I do, if you want to support my dream, I'd love it if you would subscribe and donate. But you know what? I'm going to love you no matter what if you don't, because it really bothers me when, I go on YouTube and there's constant delays in episodes, and I know things happen. I'm not stupid. I'm a creator myself. But when you can be on time to get donations and everything, it makes people feel like they're not important. And you're all important to me no matter what. So that's why I'm saying, even if you don't do the Patreon program, the email subscription service, I'm going to be picking random winners to get t-shirts and, you know, phone calls or gift certificates or things like that, just to give back anyway to my podcast community. That's what should be done. Yes, this is my hobby. I want to do it, but I want it to be fun for you all too. And, you know, do a membership program. And, you know, I'm hoping in a year or so, hold your hats for this one, but I'm hoping in a year or so, I'm going to be able to bring out a guest or two to come here to my 448-acre cabin by the cave and explore the cave, go ghost hunting, go hiking and searching for Bigfoot, because there are Bigfoot sightings here. Come on, I've caught the how someone's, you know, banging on my cabin. There's skunk smell all the time, and it's not a skunk, because I actually record a skunk on my Arlo cameras all the time and never smell a thing. But it only comes for about 5 minutes and then it leaves. But in time, that's what that's going to be like my goal for the year. I need your subscription. I need your listen and your follow, because everybody would be entered in the drawing for that, not just people who donate money. That's, like I said, that's not the type of person I am. So, and I think that's very important. We're not all doing this for money and a get rich quick scheme. We're doing it because we love it. We love bringing good content, and we love you, the listeners, that are giving us a chance to tell you a story. That's so awesome. I mean, just have to say it. It's so awesome. So thank you again for everyone who has listened, supported, subscribed. I see someone in my live. Vicky. Let me see if I can type you. Hello, Vicky. I have Vicky, who is Mrs. Spooky Obsessed podcast, in with us right now. And I just wanted to say hello. I'm so excited for Tuesday, girl. Vicky is amazing. Please go check out. I know I've given her a shout out before, but I will give my friends Hans Cast, One Nothing, and Mrs. Spooky podcast. I already did at the beginning of this episode, but I will do it again. These are three fascinating young women that are bringing you some amazing story, amazing histories, amazing research. And there needs to be more women in this genre of podcast. You know, it's usually always men. I mean, the majority is men, I'll say that. But women power. I mean, come on, let's do it. But anyway, so this was just, like I said, a spur of the moment to catch you up on some things to look for. Remember, if you haven't added me yet on TikTok and Instagram, go there. It's at The Conversation Cabin. On both of those, it's the same thing, The Conversation Cabin. And other than that, I will see you on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time for the Paranormal Project's first live episode of a 4-part series. And again, thank you for listening. Please make sure that until the email subscription comes out, at least, definitely follow the podcast to get updates on new episodes, bonus content, live shows, Q&A I'll be starting. But like I said, keep a lookout on Monday on my social media where I will be providing a link to go and sign up to receive weekly newsletters from the Conversation Cabin podcast. And other than that, to all of you out there, again, thank you. I can't say it enough. And until next time, cabin crew, explore your strange.